Today, a friend of mine posted something on the internet and it was triggering for me, which means that it is important and it deserves to be paid attention to. What he posted was a statement: men test ideas, women test men. And he was asking for responses to it. And this is a practitioner in men's work. So doing a lot of work in the masculine and feminine energy space. And for me, this kind of statement is so triggering. It's so hard to hear. It's so sexist. And it's just a reminder for me about why, in my practice, I choose to move away from using masculine and feminine as a way to describe the energies that are within us. My goal is to offer new language, new ways of thinking about these energies that exist within each and every one of us that are so important and vital to our experience, but finding language that is more inclusive, that's more reflective of our modern times, is more inclusive of more people and more experiences. What I want to clarify is that I'm not trying to get rid of these principles. I think that the principles are true to our human experience, that we have this active side of ourselves that's more of assertive, that likes to get things done, that holds space, that is more traditionally masculine in its expression. And then we have the nurturing, the ability to receive and be receptive, to be soft, that is typically referred to as feminine energy. So what I'm asking and what I'm proposing is new language that helps us move away from these gendered terms and come into a place of deeper alignment and more clarity, and actually more honest language that's really reflecting the experience that all of us are having. I think a lot of times when people hear masculine or feminine, they go, well, I'm a man, I shouldn't be feminine, because of the culture and how we've been trained. So it's hard to actually embody those characteristics of receptivity, of receiving, of nurturing, when we think that it is in conflict of who we are and the gender that we identify with. So I'm asking and maybe exploring removing gender from the conversation around energy and how we connect with one another. When we talk about this active energy, we're talking about these traits that are often associated with action, leadership, assertiveness, and logic. This energy is all about doing, creating, and influencing. It's about taking the initiative, pushing boundaries, creating the space, and making this happen in life. It is a penetrative energy that moves into the unknown and makes life happen. So we all can identify with this, that we all have places in our life where we get to be assertive, where we get to have dreams and aspirations and take steps and inspired action in our life. And on the other hand, we have this receptive energy, this traditionally, as described, feminine energy that is all about being open, being nurturing, being intuitive and empathetic. It's about understanding, connecting, being aware of the needs of yourself and others. It's about actually allowing things to happen versus forcing them to happen. So this other energy of receiving life, being receptive to the experience of life instead of trying to force it and make it happen. So what we've seen is that traditionally in a lot of Tantra theories and a lot of schools, that they abide by this masculine and feminine, creating this polarity. We can just remove the language of masculine and feminine and allow all of us to fully be able to explore and embody our own ability to be active and driven and receptive and receiving. That's why it's important to talk about these traits now, because these are universal human traits. There's nothing masculine about getting something done. That's just the way we've been programmed and conditioned all of our life. There's nothing feminine about being receptive and nurturing, except that's the way we've been socialized all of our life. And all I'm saying and all that's possible is that we become the greatest human that we can be when we can fully embody the ability to be receptive and the ability to be active, because we need the breadth of experience to be able to connect as fully as we need to in this life. So there are times when we need to tap into that active energy. We need to make decisions. We need to make things happen. We need to solve problems. And then there are times when we need to engage in receptive energy. We need to listen. We need to receive. We need to empathize. We need to simply let life unfold as it will. So that is our work, is understanding these two energies that are in us, this adaptability to be both the receiver of life and the creator of life. And that is why we are divine beings, because we have both of those abilities within us, the ability to create and the ability to receive. So how do we do this? It's really all about aligning with our own natural rhythms. It's about being mindful of the language we're using and saying, is it helpful for me to express when I'm in a receptive, receiving, nurturing mode that I'm in my feminine? Or is that just simply reinforcing the ideals of the patriarchy and the ideals of sexism that keep us separate, that keep us disconnected, that keep us as incomplete humans? Because it really keeps us as incomplete, and then we're always seeking that nurturing or that active place from somewhere else, when the answer is we have all that we need actually inside. You don't need to be seeking outside for this external support, this external motivation. You don't need to be seeking outside to be nurtured and cared for, because you can offer all of that to yourself within, because we both have the ability, regardless of our gender, identity, or expression, to be able to feel and connect with the ability to receive and the ability to act. I'm really hoping that this is a fresh perspective for some of these tantric energies, that maybe you've been struggling with that masculine and feminine language yourself and it hasn't been able to make sense for you. I'd just love to hear how this is resonating, because it's something that's been on my heart for so long, that I've always struggled with masculine and feminine as a way to describe these energies that are within each and every one of us. And if we can just find new language like active and receptive, and how we can explore what it means to be in my active state, what it means to be in my receptive state, how I feel in those places, what is natural for me. Because maybe you might identify as a man, and it may feel more natural for you to actually be in a receptive place. And I want you to know that that is fully valid, and that doesn't make you any less of a man if you are just a more receptive person. And the same thing goes for women. Women, if you are bold and determined and clear and action oriented, this doesn't make you masculine. This isn't putting you in your masculine. This is putting you in a place of active collaboration with creation. You are actively participating with life. And I don't think that it's just the men that get to have that experience. So hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know how this resonated, and check out some of my other videos if you find this interesting. There's other meditations and ways of understanding our energy and our human experience.